You can hear me now. Wow. You can hear me now. You should be able to hear you now. Wait, you should be able to hear me now. Okay, now you can. Yeah, so last night my computer done a fat update and it kind of reset everything. And I thought I put everything back. But here I am, guys. Yes, I'll just introduce everything again. Hello, welcome back to MUFC MPB here on YouTube. And as you can tell by the title today, we are going to be speaking about the potential takeover news. Now, over the course of today, it's gone up and down whether you're wanting the Qataris in or whether you want Sir Jim Ratcliffe's bid to win. I'd say the people who want to see Jim Ratcliffe take over the club are going to be the happier now, because the most recent news that's come out, I'm just going to get straight into it, to be honest. The most recent news that's come out via business, which is the first word in business news, has 9.3 Bloomberg business. I'm looking at the Bloomberg. They say Sir Jim Ratcliffe is leading the race to buy into Manchester United. The British billionaire's bid recently revised offer is giving him the edge over a rival proposal from Qatar. And what I can understand, or what I've seen about this offer, is that the Glazers will remain in the club in some capacity. I can't remember the exact percentage as to how much they own of the club, but so how it works out is the percentage, I think it's a 25% bid of 2 point something million. If it's obviously then eventually going to go up to 100% as time progresses, he will keep buying the Glazers out, and eventually the Glazers will get bought out. They probably will get more money than what the Qataris are offering right now. The Glazers are holding out for more money from the Qataris because, as they know, they do want the club. Everybody knows the Qataris want to buy Manchester United, and they really, really want to buy it because, you know, the impression we get of them, the stuff that they've given us to understand about them, is they are proper Manchester United fans who share the same opinion as us, and what they get back from us is a very good opinion of them. So what we think they're going to come in and do is solve everything, get rid of the wrong people, bring in the right people, improve the facilities, properly fund the club, not take money out of the club, invest their own money into the club, which can result in more transfers coming in or better transfers coming in, happier atmosphere, more trophies. That's effectively how us Manchester United fans think it's going to plan out if the Qataris come in. We know they want the club and we know they're fans. Well, you know what we've been let to know through the media. And I hope it does go like that if the Qataris come in. I definitely want it to go like that. If anybody comes in, I want it to go like that. I want them to be better than what the Glazers are doing for us. But the impression we get from Sir Jim Ratcliffe is the complete opposite, because of their willingness to keep the Glazers in. It's almost like you sold the club, but we haven't gone anywhere. The same people are still there. It's going to be doing the same thing. The whole reason in us fans wanting the club to be sold so badly is because we want to get rid of the problem, and hopefully the new owners will be much better and actually run Manchester United, you know, the biggest club in the world, the way it should be run. And that's not the confidence that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is giving us right now. So for me personally, it's worrying seeing that Sir Jim Ratcliffe is apparently at the front of the queue to get Manchester United, because as Gaz says here, why would you spend 1.5 billion but none of it goes to the club, meaning you have to contribute more into infrastructure? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense at all, but he's trying to get Manchester United regardless of how he gets it. And in my opinion, and I think I might share the opinion of a lot of other Manchester United fans, because of the way he's trying to acquire the club, so keep the Glazers in with the majority share of Manchester United, he doesn't care about what we want. He cares about just having Manchester United. And he owns Nice as well in France. I don't know if he's going to be trying to buy other football clubs, but it's like, sorry, I thought I heard a noise. But he just wants it in his umbrella of football clubs, and I don't want that personally, because then I think it could just go exactly the same way as if the Glazers are still in. Well, they still will be in. It wouldn't make a difference, I don't think. So, sorry, I think someone's knocking at my door. I'm gonna have to ignore that. You know, that is, I don't know. Yeah, I think someone's knocking at the door. But I'm gonna stay here and talk about Manchester United because United, innit? But yeah, I personally want the Glazers in. Sorry, I personally want the Qataris in. I was just getting distracted on my phone with the next article. Now, something which I'm very happy about. Obviously, the David Beckham documentary has come out, so obviously he's going to be in the public eye much more than usual. I don't know if this is coming out coincidentally at the same time as him, you know, speaking more about the Qataris, about Manchester United. I don't know if that was planned or if it's just a coincidence, but I think it's perfect timing because I have a couple of quotes here from David Beckham in an interview that he done on CNBC, and I just want to get you guys' opinion on this because I think it's positive. He's speaking about Manchester United here, just in general. He says, at the moment, there's no stability at Manchester United. I want an ownership to take over and take United back to where they should be. Now, Exposed here says, I am done if Rat comes. Now, I'm guessing that's the Jim Ratcliffe. I will be as well. What will they do of 1.5 bill? What the Glazers do with the money, or what do you mean by that question? But with the David Beckham comment here, at the moment, there's no stability at Manchester United. I want an ownership to take over and take United back to where they should be. I think he's appealing to the good Manchester United fan who want the Qataris to come in because he knows that we're on the Qatari side and he knows that they are linked. He knows that we know that they're linked as well. It's not a secret. It's very, you know, very common knowledge that ever since he was at PSG, like he said here, he's been connected with the Qataris. So what he's saying is almost like it's going to make us happy, you know, as it would right now, or sad if, you know, it turns out the Qataris aren't getting Manchester United. And it's going to feel like he's talking on our behalf in the most public way possible. Because he's saying, David Beckham and Manchester United, he's a legend of Manchester United. He got famous at Manchester United. His whole brand started with Manchester United. Everybody knows David Beckham goes with Manchester United. So the fact that he, with all of his personality and all of his status, is saying that it's a mess and he wants people to come in and fix it. Who else would he be talking about? He's going to be talking about the Qataris. And then he goes on to say, and take it back to where they should be. He's talking about the Qataris. He's there in that little clip right there. He's saying he wants the Qataris to come in because he knows that they're going to do what they need to do to get Manchester United back to where they should be, which is winning trophies, getting, you know, Champions League finals, winning the Champions. Doing all of that is what Manchester United should be doing. So David Beckham is saying there he wants the Qataris to come in because he knows that they're going to do what they need to do to get Manchester United back to the top. And it's true. He says, I've had a long-standing relationship with Qatar. There's obviously been a connection since I was at PSG. So we know David Beckham was with the Qataris, and we know that he's talking on their behalf and he's talking on our behalf as well. So I think those are very, very positive comments to come out of David Beckham. But I'm going to do a poll just to see if there's anybody in here that we have to ban from the channel forever. I'm joking, obviously. I'm not going to tell you the question until it's posted. It's a simple one first, but I'm going to try and do a few polls today. Alright, so let me go through some of the comments. Beckham is... Oh, it's disappeared now. Beckham is a true hero. I love David Beckham. I've always loved him. We want Qatar. Yeah, 100% we want Qatar. But last time Bloomberg reported Sheikh is favourite. I honestly, I've not been up to date with anything Bloomberg ever, because I don't think I've ever even been on their Twitter page. So I don't know what they would have said previously, to be honest. Can we also acknowledge this report is not from David Hillier, who's the main reporter from Bloomberg? It's a bit like the Daily Mail story last month, and Mike Keegan then came out to deny those story. What story came out last month? Fill me in on that. If we want to compete again at the top level, we need Qatari and everything from top to change. 100%. The thing with Manchester United is, there was actually no, before I say this, there was a comment which, you know, Charlie Savage, we just sold him to Reading. He said that Reading's facilities, like the training facilities, are on par with Manchester United. That's not good. It's not good at all. We're talking about the Manchester United, the biggest club in the world, the biggest club, 100% the biggest club in England, with the richest history. We've, you know, won the most amount of Premier Leagues. We've done all of this. We're Manchester United, and our training facilities are that of a championship side. I think that's wrong on so many levels, and I think, why is it like this? It's because of the owners. And I think maybe he's trying to weigh in on this as well. Maybe he's trying to not throw some digs he's trying to say something without saying it directly. He's trying to say Manchester United need to upgrade their training facilities. We know why they haven't been upgraded. We know why they won't be upgraded whilst these owners are in. It could be another person coming out and trying to fuel the Glazer out parade. I don't know. I think it could be that. Sorry, the software that I'm using, when I put the poll up, I can't see any comments on here. So the reason I'm looking up so much is because your guys' comments are on the channel on this screen here. So if you see me looking up, it's because I'm reading your comments. Martin B says, my man Brooks, majority wants Qatar. Oh, there's a few that don't want Qatar though. If anybody would like to own up and say that they want Sir Jim Ratcliffe, let us know in the comments. Why do you want Sir Jim Ratcliffe over Qatar? If you want to, like, I guess, expose yourself. 50 viewers. Oh right, there was 50 viewers. Oh, make sure you guys like the video and make sure you guys subscribe as well. Definitely put a like in. Bear of you here. So many. That's amazing. Yeah, so as I was saying, if you were the person who's voted Sir Jim Ratcliffe, or the few people who voted Sir Jim Ratcliffe, let us know why, or give us your reasoning as to why you want Sir Jim Ratcliffe over the Qataris, because definitely I would like to understand that. Bloomberg also reported in June Qatar was favourites and on the verge of buying United. Those are coming back up again. I'm seeing a lot of things on Twitter about stuff coming out from Qatar, saying they've basically got Manchester United. So, but we also saw that way back. So I don't know. Bath time. It's not my bath time yet. Look, it's Brooks in it. Didn't they upgrade Carrington as well this summer? When did Charlie Savage go? He would have been there in the summer. So I don't know. You know, did they? Wasn't it like the Pools or something? Or am I thinking about another team? We want oil money. I just want the club to be run the way it should be run. Jeff Hunter says that article tonight from David Hellier, I checked it. There, he is one of 3 authors of that article. If Rat comes, we are done for the next 10 years with Liverpool having investment, City and Newcastle are state-backed, Arsenal and Spurs are way ahead in management. Yeah, no, it's going to be a long ride. And it's going to be a tough decade at the very least if we don't get the Qataris in. I'm not going to lie. It's it will be worrying, because the Glazers are still going to be there for a very long time with the majority ownership as well. It's not like um, Ratcliffe gets the 25% next week, and then gets the the majority, which will be 51% in 5 months. It will be like he gets the 25% next week and then gets the majority ownership in about 6 years or 7 years or something like that. It's gonna still be, you got at least 7 or 8 years until Sir Jim Ratcliffe would eventually get the majority stake, which would be 51%. And we don't know if that will be a big priority for him. We don't know if he'd, buy 25% and then straight away be on the path to getting 51%. He might buy the 25% and just sit for 10 years and do nothing. We don't know. Whatever he says and whatever he lets us understand about him and what he wants for Manchester United, we don't know everything. We don't know if he's even telling the truth. We don't know if he's going to take it as seriously as he thinks. Look at the way he's running Nice. There always seems to be problems there. They're not signing players sometimes. I think there might have been something with the wages as well, but I can't confirm or deny that. But there were a few problems over the summer as well. And it will be Manchester United, which will be way more expensive. And of course, money in general does come into it. The Qataris and they've basically got unlimited money. Like, they don't have, I don't know, like, the amount of money they have is so much, it wouldn't even worry. Nothing's going to worry them. It won't be like, they're penny pinching over 5 or 6 mil. Yeah, if you have to penny pinch to stay within FFP, yeah, cool. But it won't be because they're being stingy, or it won't be because they might not actually have the money. They have the money. That's not a problem. That's who we want in, because they have the resources to do everything that Manchester United needs to get them back. They have the resources to sign the best director of football, to sign the better players, even if it's a youngster who needs more wages or something from another team, or even if it's Vinicius Jr. in 5 years. I don't know. They just have the money and it's there, and that's nothing we ever have to worry about. That's why I want them in. Because when you see on Twitter as well, or Instagram or whatever, obviously it's not just one person. It's a family, and they're reported to be lifelong Manchester United fans. And we're seeing pictures of, I think it's Jassim himself, like in a Manchester United top. What's it called? Sorry, I just read a comment and got distracted. You're seeing Jassim himself in like a Manchester United shirt, just in a picture somewhere. And I know, like anybody, some people just wear football tops, or some people might, have the top, but they might not necessarily be a fan. But I think if you're trying this hard to buy Manchester United, and you're promising to do what you need to do to get Manchester United back, and you're leaking pictures of yourself in a Manchester United kit, and you have the resources, and it's very well known that you have the resources. It's not a doubt. It's not, do they actually have... They have the money. Why would you not want him in? I don't know if there's a comment that's come through saying anything about why they want Sir Jim Ratcliffe. Qatar all the way. Kinetic Entertainment Press Club Limited. Hello. Qatar all the way. Those that want Sir Jim Ratcliffe are not fans. Get out of my club, you plastics. I'd prefer Sir Jim because of social issues than the Al Thani's history of funding people you don't want to know about. Fair point. It's amazing what you can find out under an NDA. It's all speculation. Sheikh Jassim will wait for a new stadium. Just pay the extra 1 billion to take them out. 100%. Would he still be alive in the next 6 years? What, Sir Jim Ratcliffe? He's not that old, is he? Or he's not. I don't think he's close to death. Or death, sorry. That 1.5 billion will go into the Glazers' pocket. They will not invest in stadium or squad, and main concern is debt. They wouldn't do anything. They'd put it in their pocket and just think, oh my days, and we still get to do the madness that we do. That will be like the best thing ever for them. So I can fully understand why they're taking a long time to consider it. Like, if I was a Glazer, I'd be doing the same thing. I'd probably take the Jim Ratcliffe's bid. if I was the Glazers, and then just sell it all in a few years' time when I've made all that extra money. If they were smart, look, if they did accept the bid from Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if they were smart, they'd use that 1.5 billion, to pay off the debt. They probably wouldn't fix the whole stadium. They'd make like minor adjustments. They probably fix the roof or something, like fix all the cracks. If I was a Glazer, fix all the cracks. Buy a few good players, make the fans happy. But I would only use that 1.5 billion for the whole time, like to fund everything. Then I'd still never put my own money in. Do you get what I mean? And then I just wouldn't sell the club. I'd just stay here until I'm gone, effectively. And they could do that. They could just do that. So Jim is 71. Nah, he's got about 20. Look how rich he is. He's not gonna let himself die. He's got at least 25 years left. If Jim was going for 100% of all of the Glazers shares, I wouldn't mind. But every time he's bent over for them, which is a big red flag. I don't even think it's... Nah, it's bending over for them. He's doing everything he can to get Manchester United, but keep them in the club at the same time. And he's going to get to a point where he has a successful bid accepted or something, and he can just do absolutely nothing. It's like his name is just on the paper. If he's close to death, if he's not close to death, he will be. I'm gonna close this poll now. We can clearly see that the majority want there's 50 votes. That's amazing. 92%. I'll just see the results here. End poll. $50. 92% of 50. Someone told me what 92% of 50 is. I thought I'd be able to work that out. Sorry, that's why my brain just went blank. 46. 92% of 50 is 46. Yeah. 92% of 50 is 46. Started at 69, 51, 25. Okay, so started at 69% and then 51% and now 25%. It shows he's just in a state of desperation. The guy's doing this for his own ego. If he was a real United fan, he would know Qatar is the best for us. If he was a real United fan, he would know that Qatar was best for us and probably join them. If he really wanted to be a part of it and be a part of a successful Manchester United takeover, he'd join Qatar. And he'd offer them money to be a part of their thing so he could be involved with the club as well. That's what he'd do. But I don't know if he's he's from the local area. He's not, apparently he's a Manchester United fan, but it could just be, it's like when a football player goes to a club. It's like, I love Manchester United, but if I was playing for AFC Wimbledon and Liverpool came in for me, I'd move to Liverpool. I wouldn't then say in the press conference of me signing, I support Manchester United. I'd be like, I've always admired Liverpool. I love Gerrard and blah, blah, blah. Jim Ratcliffe isn't going to come out and be like, I support City. Because obviously then Manchester United fans aren't going to want him in. He's just going to say he supports Man United. That's the same with the Qataris. It is the same with the Qataris as well. But I wouldn't take any of that seriously if people think he actually supports Manchester United or not. Like, he could be saying anything. You don't know what team he supports. Only he knows what team he supports. Avronil Biswas, says people praying for Sir Jim's death should be ashamed. Age is just a number. I don't think people are praying for his death. I think they're just saying he is quite old, to be fair. Like, he's 71. I think he's going to live for a long time until he's close to 100. When you've got that much money and that much status, you have unlimited access to the absolute top of the top medical equipment and medical procedures and what you need to do to keep yourself alive. Owen Thompson says people praying for Sir Jim's death is a fast reaction to the news, but it does just show how much this club means to people. It's more than just a club; they want to see it succeed. Yeah, I know. Like, I don't think. I mean, you can do what you want in it, but I don't think people should be praying for people's deaths, regardless of who it is. Like, it's like you don't wish injury on an opposition player. I think it's the same for that, but I just think it's been tough. We all know it's been tough. I'm of a good age. I am 24, so I grew up as a child all the way through Manchester United's best era. I was born in '99, innit? So I was born in the good year. I was born in the lucky year, and I grew up watching Tevez, Rooney, Ronaldo, Berbatov, Scholes. I love Darren Fletcher and Michael Carrick. I think they're so underrated. I grew up watching all of those players. I've seen us win everything. I've seen Manchester United win everything and do everything. And ever since 2013, it's just gone down and down and down. Went up a little bit and it just went back down again. And now we're getting to a point where we can see the cause of all of this rot and rut as well, and depression with Manchester United fans. The cause are giving us hope by saying, yeah, we're going to sell the club. We're going to, obviously sell it for the right price and whatnot. But it's the hope that's killing us. And obviously, there's going to be a villain and there's going to be a hero. The villain being Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the heroes being the Qataris. Obviously, we want the heroes to come in and rescue us and take us back to our fairy tales where we were winning everything and nobody could chat to me. Nobody could chat to me. I'm a Manchester United fan. You couldn't say anything to me. You can't say anything to me. But we're at a point now where why is an Arsenal fan? Why are Arsenal fans talking to me like they're better than Manchester United? It's because they are better than us, and it shouldn't be like that. City as well shouldn't be saying everything. I live in Liverpool, and most of my friends are Liverpool fans. It's tough. It's because we are run so badly, and the Qataris are coming in, and we think that they're going to come in and do everything right and get it right and take us back to the top of the Premier League and Champions League finals and FA Cup finals and League Cup finals and we're in 3 finals a year. We're winning 2-3 trophies a year. That we think that they're going to take us back to those glory times, and I hope they will, and I think they will. But that's what we're getting. We're just getting teased, and it's just so long now. PSG also thought that, but they didn't have the success. They're a new club, in relative terms. Weren't they founded in the 90s or something? Or I might be completely wrong. I think they were founded in the 90s. Let me do this quick search. When was PSG? What club was made in the 90s? There was a club made in the 90s. I know I'm not going crazy. Oh, that search was rubbish. But anyway, PSG didn't have that previous history and level of success, not just domestically, but around Europe that Manchester United did. What did they have to get back to is what I'm trying to say. Not much really. That's why I think it didn't work at PSG, because they didn't have that culture. Manchester United have that culture. You don't even have to be an old Manchester United fan to have lived in that culture. I'm 24 and I lived all the way through until we finished. All you have to be is 50 years old and you've lived through it all, basically. 50, 60 years old and you've lived through it all. I think yeah, man, the Qataris come in and spend the money the right way and spend the right amount of money the correct way. I promise you, Manchester United goes straight back up to the top. They go straight back up to the top. But I do have a little bit of other news for you. Might make you even more Glazers out. But Manchester United had an official £8 million bid accepted for Palmeiras midfielder Gabriel Menino in the summer. The deal collapsed as United switched their focus to all their other problem areas and left Menino's signing aside. So we missed out on a central midfielder, I believe. Palmeiras is a Brazilian team in the Brazilian First Division, I think. I mean, I don't know much about him. This is the first I'm really finding out about this in terms of in the last hour. And I think that just goes to show everything that's wrong with Manchester United. You've got people, you know, in charge of doing the transfers, the negotiations, agreeing the fees and stuff. You've got those type of people doing all of that in the worst way possible. They can't do more than one thing at once. It's a thing of, if we had to sign 3 players in a week, Man City could sign 3 players in 2 days. Liverpool could probably sign 3 players in 2 days. A lot of clubs can sign 3 players in 2 days. But Manchester United take a month and a half to sign 1 player. We can't do stuff efficiently. We don't seem to be able to do it in the correct way. We don't seem to be able to do it without embarrassing ourselves at some point. Like, there's always some sort of we offered too little, and it's not even like you're undercutting just to see if they go down a little bit. It will just be like what are you doing? Like, why are you who are we sending in to negotiate? And it's just I completely forgot what I was saying, but I knew I got sidetracked. But I think what I'm thinking about is, yes, in the 90s, they were a glamour club and they just had big players. So they had so Bath Time says they had JJ, referring to JJ Okocha, Ronaldinho and George Weah in the 90s. They've been a glamour club. And in a sense, when the Qataris bought them, they were getting back to that. That's what they had to aspire to, I guess, because that was their history. And that's what they did. They delivered. PSG didn't win the Champions League. They've never won the Champions League before. I couldn't tell you about their domestic history because I've never researched, French domestic history. But I'd imagine they were winning league titles as well with, players like that. They've got back to that. They've signed Neymar. They've signed Messi. They've got Mbappe, Sergio Ramos, all the flashy best players. From Europe. They've got that. That's what they did before, and that's what they've done again. They would have carried on winning domestic titles, and they would have still been unsuccessful in Europe because that's what they were before. That's what the Qataris there had to live up to. That's what they had to get back to, and they did, and they've done that. If that was their job to take PSG back to the top, then they've done that because that was the highest PSG had ever been. The highest Manchester United has ever been is treble winners. We could have possibly won 5 league titles in a row late 2000s, but a dodgy offside call against Chelsea ruined that. That's Manchester United's top. So the Qataris coming in and investing and getting Manchester United back to the top with people that were here when Manchester United were at the top. I don't see how it doesn't work because you have people here who know exactly what to do. You have people here who know how much it would take, where to look, what to buy, how to buy it, how to do stuff. I'm talking Sir Alex. He's who better than Sir Alex to ask what to do? Oh, it doesn't matter how much it costs. I'm going to make sure it gets done. You don't know. The Glazers might be talking to Sir Alex, talking about, what do we have to do here? You have to get this, but it's going to cost 10 million. The Glazers think, 10 million. I only want to pay 500,000 or 1 million. I'm going to look for the cheapest thing possible. That's as close as I can get to what you said. Maybe that's with equipment. Maybe that's with facilities. Maybe that's with staff, and maybe that's with signings as well. But that's the difference. Manchester United can't get back to the top when you have corners being cut constantly with everything. You're getting old equipment. You're not getting the stuff that the driver of the car wants. Driver of the car wants an engine that goes at the speed he wants, but the Glazers go and get a completely different one that they think the owner will like, or they get something just not what is needed. They just don't get what's needed, basically. David Billing says bathymetry. What's bathymetry? Am I being silly? Bathymetry. Bathymetry wants more debt, no new stadium, and no top players. Oh yes, what? Oh, I'm guessing you're talking about Sir Jim Ratcliffe. I don't know what bathymetry means, so I've never heard that. Bath Time says Palmeiras have won the last 2 Copa Libertadores. That's their Champions League. If you were unaware, I hope I'm right. By the way, I actually don't want a new stadium. That's at least true. I don't want a new stadium. I just want them to fix it. Like, just fix the stadium. That's all you need to do. It's Manchester. It's Old Trafford. Like, doesn't get better than Old Trafford. I don't think we need a whole new thing. We don't need to start again. Like, nah. Just fix Old Trafford. John Marlu says people arguing Qataris will change United to PSG to hold. So, to be honest, if that means being dominant domestically, why not? PSG won the league 9 and 10 last year. Yeah, exactly. No, it's exactly what I just said. That's what PSG were doing before. They got back to the heights that PSG were at, and they just can't take them further. We should be winning. Manchester United should be winning the league every season. We've won it the most amount of times, and nobody's even close to us. City are going to be close now. Haven't they won 7? I think. Just look, City could catch up to us if we don't get this. If the ownership, honestly, okay, I'll put it like this: if Sir Jim Ratcliffe buys the club, City will overtake us in the next 7 years. Or the next 7 or 8 years, Manchester City will overtake Manchester United's 13 Premier League titles. If the Qataris come in, Manchester City, yeah, they'll win a couple more, but they will never ever catch up to Manchester United. They will never ever catch up to Manchester United. And I think it's as simple as that. Yeah, I don't want a generic stadium. Old Trafford is one of the greatest stadiums in the world. I do rate the Qataris, and PSG were the only super club that said no to the Super League alongside Bayern. Yeah, I think they have, in terms of football, they have good morals and they know what's right. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. Sorry, guys. Tony Bravo, spot on. Glazers are playing games. They are trying to squeeze as much money as possible. If they wanted Ratcliffe, they would have accepted it by now. 100% they would have accepted it by now. That's why I'm very confident that the Qataris are going to get Manchester United, because they have all the money up front. And the Glazers set a price, it got matched, and then they increased. Yeah, they might increase a little bit more, but they're not going to increase to the full 6 billion, I don't think. Which is like, look, I guess it's fair enough. Like, they don't want to overpay. Because it's not, listen, I know they have a lot of money, but 6 billion is still 6 billion. Like, it's 6 billion pounds. Like, let's not act like they could, they should just pay it. Like, people are saying, like, just pay it, man. Just pay it. Just pay the 6 bill. Like, nah, 6 billion is still 6 billion. So I can understand why they're being stubborn and not moving their feet. Exposed says 5.5 would be fair. I think that would be fair. I think, to be perfectly honest, I think they'll settle on like 5.5 to 5.7 billion by the new year. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I'm hoping for. That's what I think will happen. What I'm hoping for is for them to do it honestly in the next few weeks, because then, look, if the Qataris, bought Manchester United on the 2nd of January, they wouldn't be able to pay for signings in January. It takes time. It takes 6 weeks, I think, for stuff to start or kick in or whatever. So however long it takes, I want them to do it with enough time so that in January, we can reinforce properly, And players aren't stupid or ignorant. I hope they're not. But they will see what's going on at Manchester United. They will know that Manchester United has just been bought. There's huge potential for Manchester United over the next 5 or 6 years to really like kick on and really start dominating once again with the unlimited funds. And they might look at Manchester United and think, yeah, I want to move there now in January. It could happen, and I think it would happen if, the Qataris were able to come in with enough time before January window to actually fund transfers and conduct stuff and get their, get the scouts and the directors of football and doing their thing. I think it's a possibility. Hello, Mr. Stats. How are you doing? Avranil Biswas. Please let me know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. I don't want to get the pronunciation wrong. The Glazers are interested in minority investment over full sale. The Glazers know that the club will pay them more, so selling them now doesn't make sense. John Marlu says it's another $1 billion that they can invest in Carrington Academy and the women team instead of baying into the greedy Glazers. True. Very true. That's true. Sorry, I'm going to go back to Avranil's comment. Thank you. I'm going to go back to Avranil's comment. The Glazers are interested in minority investment over full sale. So yeah, over time, when they eventually do fully sell, the price hopefully would have gone up because of the success that will come with the sale that they're deluded about, I guess, or they don't care. They will do anything which will guarantee them the most amount of money. So they're not stupid. They know that they're not running the club well. If they were running the club well, they'd take the 25% yesterday. They take it yesterday, and because they're running the club well, the stock price will increase because you win trophies, you're doing well, you're earning more money, and it will eventually sell for more. And then eventually they will sell more and more majority because they're still running the club well, and they get more money. And then eventually when they sell it all, everything that they've sold it for, like each part, might add up to 8 billion or 9 billion. But they're not running the club well, so they know that won't happen. They know that they're running the club into the ground, and they know that over the next decade, if they carry on doing what they're doing, not supporting the club properly, letting the club rot, the price of the club or the value of the club is going to keep going down. They know that they're not running it right. So they're thinking, yeah, well, no, we can't accept this because when we eventually want to sell it for real, we're not going to get as much as if we accepted the 5.5 billion from Qatar. So we need to wait for Qatar to make the 5.5 billion bid, or so it might be going something like that. Because they know they're rats. They know that they need to get out, and they know that they're not doing what they need to do. Tony Bravo says the Premier League is turning into a super now. It's getting way more competitive. Therefore, the Glazers won't be able to compete with how incompetent they are. They will definitely cash in now. Look, that's definitely correct, but they're definitely not cashing in because they know they're not going to be able to compete on the footballing side. They're just cashing in because the club is decreasing in value, and they need to get out whilst they can. Owen says, my worry is the Glazers haven't accepted Rat Boy's bid because they were trying to get him to go lower on percentages, hoping this news is just PR for them to get Qatar to up their bid. I think it's just PR as well. To be honest, it's come out exactly the same time or exactly the same day that apparently the Qataris were very close or just weeks away from getting the club. So it's obviously some sort of PR. Whether or not it's true. Sorry, I'm just getting an update, please. Sorry guys, just got a text from my mum. Yeah, look, they know that they need to get out of the club. Minority investment will reduce the dividends. I think some of that family just want a lump sum now with a weak dollar, and others see massive growth potential with the World Cup. it's annoying how it's always a split decision in that family, especially when with selling the club. I thought a few months ago 3 of them wanted it sold, and 1 of them didn't. Now only 2 want it sold, and it's so annoying. But the final decision lays with Avram, I believe it is. He's like the oldest one, or the dad or something. I don't know. But the final decision lays with him, and he doesn't want to get rid of it yet. So that's why it's been holding off for so long. I think definitely the daughter wanted it sold a long time ago, and one of the sons has always wanted it sold as well. And then Joel wanted it sold and then didn't want it sold. And I think he's at the stage now where he doesn't want it sold yet. So he's in like, they're just holding out. Absolutely correct, mate. Correct pronunciation. Thank you. Hello, Ash. How are you today? Joel and Avram kicked back versus Qatari offer because they wanted to maintain control. I imagine the other 4 Glazers will kick back versus Ineos deal because they could earn 800 million right now from the Qatari. $800 million. Manchester United is selling for 800 million, more than 800 million, surely. Minty, I hope this is just a way to get a bit more out of Qatar. If we don't get Qatar, it's actually over. Look, I have a friend that wants to buy Manchester United, and he's well on his way to being able to afford him. Like, you know, his student finance just came in, so that's a little bit of extra cash. Anybody but the Glazers, anybody but Sir Jim Ratcliffe at this point, because if it's Sir Jim Ratcliffe, then it's the Glazers as well. So, listen. Nah, I don't want Sir Jim Ratcliffe in. I can't do it. Obviously, I'll still support Manchester United, but I'll just be so jealous. I just seen your comment at the bottom, so I'm going to just read that, and then I'll read the other ones as well. But what are you referring to for 800 million? Because I don't understand who's getting 800 million from United being sold. The club is like a golden goose for the Glazers, so they won't hand over so easily and so early. I don't even think it's still early. It's not been early for about 6 or 8 months. This has been going on for so long, like so long, unnecessarily long, and it's almost like they're taking the piss out of everybody. Like you know what? I got scared last season that Manchester United were going to do so well that the Glazers thought, hold on, we've just, you know, done a masterstroke here and hired the best manager in the world, and he's gone and won us the Prem. Like, obviously I'd want to win the Prem, but I was thinking, oh no, like, what if the Glazers stay because we've done so well this season? That's what I was scared about, if I'm totally honest. That's why I think they stayed for as long as they did. To be honest, that's my little conspiracy theory. It's crazy that Ratcliffe has 20 billion and it's not seen as enough. Yeah, it's because people know. The reason rich people are so rich is because they don't spend their money like that unless they're going to get money back. Stadium rebuild. I've yet to see a new build stadium reach 80,000 capacity in England. Wait, sorry, where's this? Whereas developing the South Stand could in. Oh, so you're talking about the new stadium, I guess, the Spurs stadium that's just recently been built. And isn't a Wanda Metropolitano over 80,000? Imagine Old Trafford with 100,000 people in it. That would be absolutely amazing. Isn't the South Stand on the train tracks though? Or would they have to build like over the train? No, they wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know. Or the train goes like underneath. I don't know. So I'm imagining it in my head. Glazers should take the money and invest in an NBA franchise. They should just take the money and retire from whatever they do, because they obviously have enough. Just relax. Just live your life and just don't make people hate you. John Marlou says it started with one Glazer, now 6 siblings. Who knows? Maybe in the future, 14 Glazer grandchildren. Oh my god! Imagine the Glazers' grandchildren. Them staying there long enough that they hand it over to their grandchildren. Absolute hell. Absolute hell. I'm going to take you guys through one or two more. Well, this is the most recent. Let me just double check again, because it was literally like updating very, very quickly. Oh, some very good news in the last 15 minutes. Rasmus Højlund is among the final 25 contenders for the Golden Boy Award. I mean, he's obviously not going to win it, but it's very good, and congratulations to him for getting there. 1 hour ago at 6:41, Bloomberg reported there's still a chance that Sheikh Jassim could raise his bid for Manchester United. And yes, there is one more thing, but I will wait until the end for that, because that is a bit of exciting news. The Ratcliffe offer only suits Joel and Avram. The other 4 want to leave now, and Ratcliffe offer actually gives them less money than what Qatar could give them now. Yeah, because he's going to be not paying the full 5.5 or 6 bill or whatever. Owen Thompson says what? What is on my screen? Oh, I thought the letters were moving. There was something on my screen. Owen Thompson says the Glazers would all individually get 800 million now if they accepted Qatar's offer, but only 200 million each for Ratcliffe's offer. I think that's what he meant by 800 million. Yeah, I didn't. 8 times 4 equals 32. But then that means the club would only be getting sold for 3.2 billion. That's what it did. That's why it didn't add up to me. Tonali who? I hope I didn't say that we were linked to Tonali. Because if I did, don't remember saying that, and we are definitely not getting Tonali in January. Or unless that's somebody that you want at Manchester United. Wait. I'm just double checking my notes to make sure that I haven't missed anything off the agenda. If you are just joining, Tonali is getting done for betting offences. No way. Oh, mad. Fabrizio Romano tweeted an hour ago, Nicolo Zaniolo and Sandro Tonali have been questioned by authorities. This happened after being accused about possible involvement in illegal betting. Aston Villa and Newcastle players have both left Italy training camp after speaking to the police. That's crazy. How much have Qatar offered exactly? I think it's 5 billion, but the Glazers want 6 billion. So if you've heard us say 5.5, that's just a number that we've, I guess, decided that we think they will compromise on, because it's just in the middle, isn't it? So I say 5.5 to 5.7 is what the Qataris will pay, because they're obviously going to have to pay over 5.5, you know, because it's in the Glazers' court. Like, they're in control of this. $800 million. $800 million for one sibling, 4 billion for 6. 6.9. Maybe I'm being silly, but there is a report that has just come out. I'm going to take you through it. is a huge advert and it's not going. So we're going to have to wait for that, unfortunately, guys. But if you do have any more questions, make sure to ask. I'm just double checking everything and my messages to make sure there hasn't been any updates that I need to mention. But I will say as well, Rami GD says, do the Glazers really want to sell? We are of the understanding that most or the majority of the Glazer family do want to sell, but Avram and Joel don't want to sell. And Avram, I think he's the oldest or the dad or something. It's like his is the final decision, which is a problem for us fans at the moment. Basically, it's happening. They are trying to get some last minute offers, but I think it's actually happening and they're leaving. And this is what I said about David Beckham earlier. I think the fact that he's speaking about it, like very openly, not like a secretly recorded clip. This is on TV, national TV. He's talking about Manchester United doesn't run well. It needs people who are going to come in and run it well. And then he says, he's got a long-standing relationship with the Qataris. I think, 99% of the time when actors and celebrities do interviews or like important interviews, firstly, the actors or like the celebrities, management or entourage, they're briefed with the questions and they're not allowed to ask certain things. They have to adhere by those rules. Like if you're not allowed to ask something, like you're not allowed to ask it. So the fact that I don't know what the question he was asked was, but the fact that his response is talking about his good relationship with the Qataris, and the fact that Manchester United need new owners and what he wants them to come in and do, I think it's all just pointing to one thing. I think it's all just pointing towards the fact that the Qataris are coming in and buying Manchester United, and David Beckham's going to be a part of this project apparently. And apparently a few other Manchester United legends are. I can imagine Roy Keane being one. I can imagine Gary Neville, maybe Phil Neville, maybe Nicky Butt, maybe the class of 92. We don't know if it's all of them. We don't know if it might be Wes Brown. We don't know. Maybe even Rio Ferdinand. I'm just listing off Man United legends. But yeah, David Beckham, I guess, is the most public one, the most well-known one. The class of 92 Manchester United legend. And he's speaking a lot about Qatar and he's speaking a lot about Manchester United. So, listen, do with that information what you will, but I believe it only points to him potentially being the confirmation. Ben Jacobs says the X92 players told him they wouldn't speak till the takeover was basically done. That's one more point. And Bex is on mainstream American news flirting with Qatar. I think it's close. Exactly. When you openly support, the same stuff that Manchester United fans like us do, and you're expressing a good relationship with Qatar, takeover talk. I'm not a huge fan of either, but they're better than the Glazers. Not so much the Jim, because his deal would keep them in, so he's just another Glazer at the moment until he provides an offer that takes them completely out of the picture, and he proves to us that he would invest and do what needs to happen. But guys, I do just want to say, make sure you have subscribed to the channel, and if you haven't already, make sure you leave a like. There are a lot of you watching right now, so let's get that to 15 likes, I guess. Let's get that to 50. Oh, it's over 15 likes. Oh, it's on 24. It just updated. Let's get that to 30 likes. Let's get the video to 30 likes. I think that'll be a good number. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Also make sure that if you haven't already, follow at MUFC MPB over on Twitter, or X as it is called now, as well as my ex, Ash Meppers and Anil Kandola. Ash streamed yesterday and he will be streaming again on Saturday, and Anil streams on Tuesday. make sure if you haven't already, this week I believe we got an interview with, was it Ben Jacobs? Can't remember the name. It was, yeah, it was Ben Jacobs. I was right. So if you haven't, it's on 10,000 views now. Gosh, it's doing very, very well. If you haven't, make sure you do go and watch that, because it was a very informative video. I won't spill any of the beans. You have to go and find out for yourself. So make sure you go and watch that if you haven't already. GG, open your 85 times 4 because he will take it away soon. I'm going to do that now. My friend is actually in the other room. He is visiting and we are going on a night out. So I'm about to get spangled on a Thursday night. But thank you guys for watching. I will be back tomorrow feeling all fresh to talk to you more about Manchester United. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Make sure you also leave a like on the video, as well as following at MUFC MPB, as well as myself, Ash, and Anil over on X. All of our links will be in the description down below. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 7 PM again, and I hope you guys have a very good Friday.